Hello and welcome back to the She Is Me conference. We have had just spectacular 4 days of amazing women sharing their stories. And right now it's 2 o'clock Pacific, and we have Chrystal Bougon, who is going to talk about how media has affected the way we look at ourselves. So here we go.
Hey there. Hi, my name is Chrystal Bougon, and I'm the founder of blissconnection.com, which is a romance toy store for mature people who are looking for romance products to improve their romantic life. And I'm here today to talk to you about letting go so you can improve your romantic life, your intimate life, and you can improve your love life by getting a little greedy. And I'll talk about what I mean when I say that later. But I want to just introduce myself. And also, I want to say thank you to Lisa for creating the She Is Me conference and for inviting me to be a part of it. Lisa and I met around, I'm going to say about maybe 10 years ago. I used to own a boutique called Curvy Girl Lingerie. As you can see, I'm a fat woman. I'm 53. And I used to own a boutique for women of size, or people of size, I should say. People size 14 and larger, and it was just a store dedicated to people size 14 and larger. And Lisa shopped there a few times. That's how we got to know each other, and then we got to know each other as business owners and through networking. And anyway, I'm super grateful to Lisa for all of her wisdom and all of her knowledge and all of her generosity of sharing with all of us, and for giving me this opportunity to talk to all of you. I'm now an electrologist. I do hair removal, and that's where I'm in my electrology office today. I'm here in Campbell, California. My office is called All Bodies Welcome. And I'm all about, body positivity and fat liberation and inclusion. I think representation really matters when it comes to pretty much everything in our lives. So thank you, Lisa. Like me, probably all of you have things about your body that you don't love. Maybe you have 25 pounds you want to lose. Maybe you hate your stretch marks, or you have skin tags, or you have age spots that you don't like. And sometimes those things start adding up, right? There's so many things that we dislike about our bodies, and we start piling them up in our brains, right? We start internalizing our feelings about these particular things. And as we all know, Naomi Wolf came out with a book called The Beauty Myth in 1990. And she talked about how the media creates images that they kind of oppress women, right? They have an obsession. The media has an obsession with physical beauty and to attain a certain beauty myth, or we're going to call it. That's what Naomi called it. It's a myth because it doesn't really exist. Even supermodels will tell you they don't look like that, right? They've been photoshopped. We all know all this stuff already. So anyway, when I owned my store in San Jose here, I used to own a store, like I said, called Curvy Girl for women size 14, people size 14 and larger. And that's kind of where I had an aha moment when I was at my boutique, because women would come in all the time asking me for lingerie that hides their upper arms. Okay, lingerie doesn't hide upper arms, right? And I would look at them like, how am I going to help you to get confident about your upper arms? And by the way, when you're getting ready to be intimate with somebody, they're not looking at your upper arms. Nobody cares if you have fat upper arms when you're having sex with them. I promise you, nobody cares, right? So I started thinking about this, how often it came up, how often we talked about this. And I started thinking about my own sort of upper arms thing, which wasn't upper arms, but I was nervous to have sex with the lights on because I'm a fat person. My partner's not fat. I wasn't sure he understood what it meant to be fat. No matter how much black I wore, I know he could still tell how fat I was. I wasn't camouflaging anything. And I knew he was really into me, and he paid me all these really lovely compliments, telling me how hot I am and how beautiful I am. And I started thinking to myself, what's holding me back? How do I quiet down this internalized fat phobia and this internalized sort of not perfect enough phobia in my brain? How do I shut those down and quiet those down so I can believe his compliments? By the way, have you ever given a compliment to somebody and they didn't believe you? It's so rude, right? It's rude. And I started thinking to myself, why don't I believe his compliments? Why, how can I tell him he's wrong? He thinks I'm beautiful. He thinks I'm hot. That's his truth. I can't say that's not true. So I started thinking, how can I internalize these better? How can I replace these lovely compliments with those old tapes I had running through my brain, oh, my skin tags, oh, my stretch marks, oh, I wish I was 100 pounds lighter, oh, let's turn the lights off. So what I started doing, I started collecting and keeping track of all the compliments. You're hot. You are perfection. He would tell me things like, you're so sexy. And I'd be like, oh, come on, of course I'm not sexy. I'm fat. I'm over 300 pounds. But then I started thinking, honestly, I've been fat my whole life. I've been fat since the 3rd grade. And I've never been alone on a Saturday night unless I wanted to be. And believe me, sometimes I just want to be alone on a Saturday night. I don't want to be out on a date or whatever. But if I ever wanted to be out on a date, there was no shortage of people to go out on a date with. People who were interested in me romantically or sexually. And why couldn't I buy into that? Because I was buying what the media is selling. I'm buying into this beauty myth. I'm buying into the Western beauty standards. I think, basically the media and all those products that are trying to get sold to us, they're trying to work on our self-esteem, right? They're trying to make us feel worse. They're trying to make us feel like our boobs should lift and separate, when naturally nobody's boobs over 20 years old lift and separate, right? It's natural for breasts my breasts are kind of unruly, but it's natural for breasts to become lower and more natural and heavier and dangle more. But the media would make you think that our breasts should always stay up here, right? We should wear bras that push them together and puff them up and all those kinds of things. But the truth is, and this if you have any friends at all, that's not what boobs look like after the age of 25. So I decided, you know what? I need to start believing what this person's telling me. I've never been alone on a Saturday night. I've been fat my whole life. I've never lacked for a date. Why can't I believe any of this? So I had to really start doing some deep, deep work. And those people that came to my store to try to buy lingerie to cover their upper arms are what sort of gave me that aha moment. So I started keeping track of these compliments. And I would keep track of the compliments that friends would pay me or people would pay me. And I would write them down. I would keep track of them. I kind of created like an add a girl file. And for those shitty, crappy, rainy days, I would go to those files and look at all the nice things people had said to me or all the nice compliments people had given me. And I started to internalize them. And I started to use those to rewrite those old tapes that I held inside of me, telling me I'm not enough, telling me I'm not thin enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not tall enough. We get those messages all day long. And I decided to start ignoring those messages and start believing the messages that people were giving to me one-on-one, via email, via social media, in person. I'm going to start believing that stuff instead. Took me a while, but I still keep them. I keep them around. You're hot. I mean, who doesn't want to be told that they're hot? Now, I don't exist for his gaze or any male gaze or anybody else's gaze, but it does feel really good. And it does feel good to replace those old messages that I get. I mean, we still get them all day long from the media. So a couple things I want you all to do. I want you to create a compliment file, and I want you to start reading them and believing them. And one day I want you to be like me and finally be able to have sex with the lights on. My passion is passion. And I want you to be able to let go and let your hair down and have sex with the lights on, or whatever that means for you. Have sex in the living room, have sex on the kitchen, have sex at noon, have intimate time alone with yourself whenever you want to. And then I want you to read them and write them down and continue to read them and believe them. I want you to really internalize them. Even if you have to put it on your head, do whatever you have to do to really get it inside of you and get it to replace those old tapes that you have going on in there, because you're going to continue to get negative messages, right? So why not continue to get positive messages? And look, if your inner mean girl is really loud, you need to learn to talk to her and tell her, not now, not now. Go away. Please come back another day, because she'll always be there. So if you're going on a fun weekend or on a trip and you want to let go, you want to finally wear that lingerie for your partner or wear that lingerie for yourself, give yourself permission to do that. And just know, hey, that mean girl, she's going to be there later if you need to find her. I hope you don't, but she's never going to go away. So just put her away, talk to her, give her a name, and address her and say, no, mean girl, not right now. Not right now. I want to be here. I want to be authentic. I want to be in this moment, as opposed to thinking about all these other things that the people have told me. I want to be here with my partner. I owe this to him or her. She loves me. He loves me. They're attracted to me. I need to believe that. And I want you to be able to stop hiding from the camera when people go to take a picture. All those kinds of things. I feel like we all waste so much time trying to be this thing, this being that doesn't really exist. And we waste hours and years and months. And I don't want you to get to where I am, where I was 45 and I was like, damn it, he's so into me. Why can't I believe him? I want you to stop wasting that time. I want you to be able to enjoy your romance or your intimacy or your affection with your partner, and not try to, I know we all do this. We try to, when they go to touch our fat tummy, we move their hand trying to get them not to touch it. I know you've all done that before. Or, I used to have a really bad beard and goatee, and he would want to touch it, and I would always be trying to avoid it or shave it real quick in the hallway as I'm walking down, all that stuff that we do. I want you to be able to stop all that stuff. I don't know if any of you ever heard of this comedian, Cat Williams. He's so funny. And he has this one skit he does where he's a little dirty, so I'm going to kind of clean it up a little bit. But he says Naomi Wolf came out with a book called The Beauty Myth in 1990. Into this beauty myth, I'm buying into the Western beauty standards. I think, yeah, basically the media and all those products that are trying to get sold to us, they're trying to work on our self-esteem, right? They're trying to make us feel worse. They're trying to make us feel like our boobs should live and things. I feel like we all waste so much time trying to be this thing, this being that doesn't really exist. And we waste hours and years and months. And I don't want you to get to where I am, where I was 45 and I was like, damn it, he's so into me. Why can't I believe him? I want you to stop wasting that time. I want you to be able to enjoy your romance or your intimacy or your affection with your partner, and not try to, I know we all do this. We try to, when they go to touch our fat tummy, we move their hand trying to get them not to touch it. I know you've all done that before. Or, I used to have a really networking, and anyway,
Chrystal. Chrystal is amazing. Oh my God. Now, honestly, I don't remember the lube. I probably did love it. I love her. I love her store. Um, Curvy Girl, Bliss Connection, find Chrystal. She's amazing. Sorry for the technical difficulties at the beginning. We had a lag in the video, and it just kind of screwed things up. So if you're watching this on the Facebook or the YouTube page, just fast, move the thing up about 12 minutes. I think when I started over, Chrystal had to submit a video to us, so she wasn't live. So 12 minutes in, I think, is when I started over. So it should be good to go. Okay, it's 2:30. We're going to be back at 3 o'clock. We're going to be back here with Nicole Bullock, and she's amazing. So join us. Bye.